Queer cats are tone setters, the same reason my main legion of chrome wetters. With long cheddar, mixed with lines written, no time slipping. When we rhyme spitting, divine mission. Since the house days, GA Grandma left DJ Tanner outraged. The South stays, about that Beretta clapping, lines balanced with
Head on over to Spotify and all other streaming platforms. Check out the NoMercyTV Podcast. Yo, what's good, y'all? No Mercy. Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. You know what time it is. Ma'Khia, I think that's how you pronounce it. Ma'Khia Bryant. 16-year-old girl that was killed yesterday while awaiting while we were awaiting the announcement of the Derek Chauvin case. What a coincidence that another police shooting happens during a time like this, Now, this one is not the typical police shooting, and this is going to be one of them touchy ones, man. This is one of those touchy ones because me personally, right? I feel like there were mistakes made on all ends. You understand? All ends. Mistakes made on all ends. Like, I know whenever we hear police shooting, especially when it's involved with our people, the first thing we, do is the outrage and everything like that. But it's so many different factors at play here. And you have to just, really look at the information, look at the body cam footage and all this different stuff before you come to a conclusion on how you feel about the situation. Because, the first thing I'm going to start off with, let's be clear, there's no reason for a 16-year-old girl to be shot in cold blood. It's never justifiable. It's no reason, no reason whatsoever. You understand? This particular situation, right? So, in terms of the backstory, before it gets to, where it gets to, Ma'Khia is allegedly, about to get jumped, I guess, by 3 or 4 females, right? So she calls, what's going on out there? She calls the police, right? And I guess, lets them know what's going on, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's immediately off rip where mistakes start to happen, right? If you're in a situation like this and you're gonna face the situation head on, which is her confronting the females that's about to jump or whatever the case is, if you're gonna call 911, right, you have to give them a detailed description of what's going on. And because she's young, it's very hard for her to notice because she's only 16 years old. Like, not every child is thinking with that advanced, with doing the critical thinking within the heat of a moment. You understand? Especially in a situation where you're about to get jumped, basically. So, it should have been told that, yo, I'm here. These 4 girls is about to jump me. I'm wearing such and such clothes. I have a knife. You understand? If you're in danger and you're going to have a weapon to defend yourself, the police need to know that upon pulling up, the person who does have the weapon is essentially the victim here because they're the one calling. They're the one in fear for their life, which is why they picked up a weapon. Now, if she would have communicated this to dispatch and then dispatch communicated it to the police officer, when the police officer got there, he would have known under no circumstances to shoot her. You understand? Maybe he could have pulled out a taser. You feel me? Something like that. But anything besides putting bullets in her. You understand? That didn't have to happen. But the reality of the situation in terms of what actually happened, I would hope that they would actually release the 911 call, because I do think that is an important piece of this whole situation. Because let's say in the 911 call, she did give a description. Did dispatch give that description to the police? Did they not give it to the police? Because if they didn't give the proper description to the police, then they're in the wrong, right? And they definitely can be held accountable for sending a police officer into a situation where they had to react and make the wrong move without the right information. And if they did communicate the situation to the police officers, then the police officer will be in the wrong, because you're pulling up to a situation where the person whose life is really in danger had to get a weapon to defend themselves, and there's no reason that they should have been shot. You feel me? So these are the factors that you have to take into consideration before you come to a decision on how you feel about the situation as a whole, right? So, I watched the body cam footage, right? Now, I'm thinking, the first thing I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking the way a police officer possibly would feel about a situation. Let's say it was just a regular call, right? Got a call from dispatch. Hey, there's a disturbance at such and such street, such and such block. A female is in fear for her life or whatever, about to get jumped, right? Let's say they don't know that this is the victim that has the deadly weapon or whatever the case is. They pull up, and this is in the body cam footage. The police officer pulls up. The melee is going on. They're telling everybody, chill out, stop, hold on, whatever. Micaiah, right? She's the one with the knife. Micaiah, in front of the cop while they're there on site, she has the knife in hand, and she's rushing a girl that's wearing, I guess she's wearing like a pink velour or whatever, pink sweatsuit or whatever she's wearing, right? Micaiah is rushing this girl with a knife. A cop that's unknowing of the situation and not knowing who's the victim, who's the one that's trying to defend themselves, who's the one that called, etc., etc. The person that has the deadly weapon that looks like the aggressor, they are going to shoot. This is what police are trained to do. If they arrive at the scene of a location or a scene of a disturbance, right? If someone has a deadly weapon and they're approaching another person, yes, the police officers are going to shoot that person. Especially if they're not informed properly of the situation. And this is where it comes down to, for me, right? The fact of whether or not the cop was informed of the situation fully beforehand. This is what it comes down to in terms of a real determining factor for the situation, because it's like you have to put yourself in his shoes, right? You pulling up to a situation, you're a police officer. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's the person that called. You don't know who's the person that's in danger, blah, blah, blah. You don't know any of that. You just see it's a melee going on. It's a whole bunch of different fights. It's somebody pushing down Micaiah. She falls to the floor. There's another person kicking somebody. And then you see Micaiah. She gets up right in front of you. You see the knife in her hand, and she's rushing somebody. As a police officer, yes, you have to shoot, because with that knife, she could be potentially about to kill this other girl. So for me, this is really a tough situation to really hold the cops accountable fully, because I need more information. What I need to know is how that 911 call went. That is going to be a really important factor in all this. And I don't want people to try to make it seem like I'm trying to justify what went on and stuff like that, because I'm not. Again, I'm going to say this for the second time. There's no reason a 16-year-old girl should be shot in cold blood. No reason. No reason whatsoever. You feel me? And I did see a lot of people saying that, yo, he could have potentially de-escalated the situation without a gun, blah, blah, blah. But it only takes a split second to kill somebody. She was right up on that girl with that knife. Had he not shot her, the other girl could probably be the dead one right now. So either way in this situation, you're looking at a possible corpse coming out of this whole situation. You're looking at that either way. You know, so it's just one of those things that for me, you know, like I said, man, all these cop killings, you know, and I'm a person, I examine each situation fully, right? I get the details first, because I can't say, oh, just because this George Floyd thing was going on, which he was wrongfully murdered. George Floyd was murdered. It ain't no debate. We seen that on camera. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't getting physical with anybody. He wasn't trying to fight anybody. The little bit of resisting that he was doing didn't warrant him having a knee on his neck for 8 damn minutes. Let's make that clear. You understand? This shouldn't even with the trial, to be honest with you. I don't care about, oh, everybody has a right to process. No. What do we see on camera? We seen a motherfucker with a knee in the dude's neck for 8 minutes. What else? What more? What trial? You got to wait a year later to understand what went on? No. Get him out of here. Smoking Derek Chauvin pack right now. Like, you understand? If I was a smoker, that would be the label that would be on my weed right now. Hopefully they get him out of here. Was it the day he walk in? You understand? But with this Ma'Khia Bryant situation, man, it's really just unfortunate, and it's too many factors at play. It's too many factors at play for me to immediately jump to the whole outrage situation, because as I just explained, it's mistakes on so many different ends. It shouldn't have ended with her dying. It shouldn't have. But another thing as well, you have to understand when it's a melee going on, bruh, when police show up, you stop. You stop. I learned that a long time ago. When you're talking high school brawls and shit like that, nigga, when police show up, you either stop everything that you're doing or you get the fuck out of Dodge. You run away from the shit. Because if you're running away, you're trying to get away from the situation. They can't even like really do nothing about that, because it's not like you're chasing anybody. You just trying to get away from the situation that's going on. You understand? But to still be there, right? The police are on site. You have a deadly weapon in your hand and you're rushing somebody right in front of them. Oh yeah. And if, let's say they didn't shoot Ma'Khia Bryant, right? Let's say he just let her stab the girl. The first thing her parents are going to say is, wait, the police were on site? Y'all let my baby get stabbed. Why didn't y'all stop this girl? She had a deadly weapon. They're not going to want to hear, oh, well, this girl was the victim, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to want to hear that. They're going to want justice for their child. You know, so like I said, it's one of those situations that is just really like, and I'm not taking the police side at all, because you have the police and you have the possible dispatch that can be held accountable for this situation. You understand? Again, I'm not holding Ma'Khia Bryant accountable at all, because again, as a child, there's certain things you just don't know. You just don't know to communicate certain things to, 911 and shit like that. But again, when police show up, you stop everything you're doing. You understand? So, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I definitely, this is definitely worth a discussion. You understand? Because I feel like it's just so much shit to it. And this can also be a learning process for a lot of people. You feel me? Because a lot of people do not understand how things work when it comes to law enforcement. And, you know, if you're calling 911, the things that you should want to tell them before, like, you understand, like, it's so much to it. It's so much to it. So, you know, let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. It's crazy, man. It's a crazy situation. And once I seen it, man, like I said, with every situation, I try to do my due diligence and look for all the details and everything. And when I seen this one, I was just like, man, like, how? Like, it's so many ways this could have been prevented, yo. This could have been prevented. Like, at the end of it, this could have been prevented. This could have been prevented. That girl did not have to die. She didn't have to die. You understand me? So, No Mercy, Trap New York shit, NoMercyTV.com. Let me know what y'all think in the comments, and I'll holler at y'all soon, man. Maybe we'll go live or something to talk about this. You feel me? I'm out of here.